Welcome to episode 2 of the 7th Hour podcast. I'm your host, KJ, and I'm here with the Gimme Four guys and one extra. We've got Joey, we've got Will, we've got Paul, and we have Mr. Alex Corson from First Take. Stick around. It's going to be a good episode.
When you put on these headphones, does anybody else get like super aware of all like the weird noises your mouth makes?
Oh yeah.
when it's like,
you know who's the worst with that?
Christian.
I
don't know how I knew that.
That makes sense.
It must be a bass thing.
Everything's more resonant.
He is, dude.
Including.
You know what's crazy about recording Christian is he sounds like he's already melodined.
Yeah.
Like
you're like, wait, did I edit that part already?
Bro.
Did I pitch correct that already?
I have to question all the time. I'm like, did I do
that?
What?
Makes sense.
Yeah, but he sounds like he's melodined.
He has such a studio quality to his voice.
So.
Yeah.
But his mouth, and he knows that. I would say this to his face. His mouth makes so many crazy noises.
Do you have outtakes of just weird
do.
spit sounds of Christian?
I've got lots of good stuff. But hey, Joe, if you cough, could you not cough into the microphone? That'd be great.
Sometimes it sneaks up on me.
It does. You can't control it. It's okay. Just throw the microphone out of your face and then cough. Guys, stoked you're here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thank
us.
you guys for taking the time to come up and hang out and spend some time. I'm excited to chat with you guys, get to know you a little bit, and hear your stories, hear about how Barbershop has influenced your lives, and Alex. And
he's like, wait, I sing Barbershop? I thought I was just still singing operatic tenor all the time.
Yeah, right?
Nobody told me I had to change anything, so I just didn't.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to head into your youth camp, your annual youth camp that you guys do, so I want to hear a bit about that as well. Want to hear about some projects you guys got coming up, and just learn who is Gimme Four.
I don't know if you really want to know that.
Like, who is Gimme Four?
I didn't sign any waivers or anything.
Yeah. We don't even really want to know who Gimme Four is, to be honest with you.
Do you know who Gimme Four is? Like,
sometimes I wonder.
You know, hey, identity. That's a hallmark of, maybe that's why you guys haven't meddled yet.
We are starting off strong here, folks.
Woo! No, we all think you should have meddled. We all believe it. We're all rooting for Gimme Four, man.
Only 5 spots there.
You know what? I think so. Honestly, you guys are probably one of the most beloved quartets not to meddle. I mean, all you have to do is look at forums and discords and videos and comments, and just people love you guys. I mean, I think people, obviously they love your music and they love the arrangements that you do, and you guys are one of the cleanest singing quartets in the entire society. But I think it's more than that. I think it's your guys' personalities. I think it's who you are as people, and I think it's what you do in the barbershop community that makes people just fall in love with you. You know, I'm just going to
easily
got them all fooled.
We're just gonna sit here and accept compliments for the next 3 hours. Watch Will squirm in his seat.
Right.
No, and I've been friends with these guys for a really long time, and it's all of those things plus, and more. The Jersey Harmony explosion, which we'll talk about, is a big reason why Gimme Four is renowned in our group, in our hobby, and people the giving back. The East Coast Sound grew out of a youth chapter that was just intended entirely to bring youth up, and then when we all got old, we're like, well, what can we do now? So the youth camp grew out of that mission, and in partnership with the Dapper Dans, but yeah, Gimme Four has always been very much a give back type of group. And I think that's part of the love factor.
Oh, absolutely, man. I just remember at District, one of my favorite moments was when you guys sang. I think it was when you sang away the trophy to us, because you guys had won the year before we won, and you guys got to present us with the trophy and the medals and all that jazz. But you guys sang on the show, and I think it was your last song. I think I have a terrible memory, so correct me, please. But you sang a song. It was it Humble and Kind?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I mean, and I was just watching you guys sing that, and as I was watching you sing the song Humble and Kind, it was such a poignant song because it embodied what you guys are as a quartet. And I'm sure that's why you guys picked it, because that's what you strive to be, and that's kind of what you... Are you going to cry? Don't cry, please. hold on, please.
No, I was
holding
told
back a cough.
Yeah, I was told not to cough into the microphone, so I'm like...
He's like... No, I'm trying not to cough. No, but it's true, and you guys singing that was a really special moment, and we were really honored to win the district right after you and get to receive that from you, and you guys took the extra time to not just treat it like, oh, here's your pins, here's your medals, and here's your little gift, thank you. Like, I think you guys wrote out a letter to us too, and just talked about like what it meant to be a district champ, and like, what
was cool is that tradition of like getting together as the MADAC right after the championship was called. That only started, or it either started or only restarted, either for us or Da Capo, who was right before us. Yeah. And so Da Capo, they got us beer mugs with Mad Champ, and that tradition of giving a gift and then speaking a little bit to the quartet only started again or restarted like the year before us winning. And so then Da Capo did that for us, and we were just kind of trying to follow what they did and establish that tradition, which is really cool. And I'm sure like there's tons of traditions like that at the international, but maybe not so much at the district level. But the Mid-Atlantic District is kind of becoming like international light.
Kind of is, right? It's like international diet. It's like light.
Yep.
Well, they called it a mini international for a long time, right? Back in like the
in terms
late
of
2000s, early 2010s. It was like prelims.
Stacked.
Mad Prelims was dubbed the mini international or something like that.
Dude, my first Mid-Atlantic District prelims that I came to, or maybe it was a district contest in the fall. I just remember because I came for Harmony Foundation. So this was probably 2012 or so, and there was over 2,000 people there.
Yep.
And it was in half of an arena, and it was a full stage, it looked like an international competition, and it felt like an international competition. Yeah. I was like, holy crap, this is crazy for a district. And I got to travel to every district, and they are all quite different sizes, different vibes, different feels. And Mad just really does have that kind of like big district energy.
Mighty MAD, baby.
It's interesting you say that about the districts have their own sort of vibe and feel. I haven't been to too many of them, but we went last year. First Take went to NED, and it was like by far the most appreciative. Like these people ducking love Barbershop, like every single ounce of it. And it was very the afterglow, like everyone was at the afterglow, the whole thing. Dude. It was very a very like interpersonal, not quite as big as the Mad contest, but man, they were there for it,
bro.
When we went,
I was about to say the same thing. What year was that? 2014? Went to Seneca Land prelims. Will?
Yeah, 2014. Yep.
I usually am off by 1 year, and Will always corrects me.
14 or so.
But yeah, 2014 at Seneca Land prelims, same thing. Very small convention, but the people were amazing. They were so appreciative to have. Oh, we don't know you. We get to hear you. We get to talk to you. We get to.
They love that, man. They love getting visitor quartets to come in and qualify in their district. And we went to NED for our first prelims because we couldn't go to Mad. The dates didn't line up, so we went to NED, and same experience, dude. They were unbelievable. Well, they not only were the people incredible, but the convention itself. It was up at Lake George, and it was in this giant barn.
Yeah.
And Glenn did the sound, and the sound was incredible. And it was loud and full. It didn't feel like one of those far off quiet, quartet contests. It was just boom in your face, had nice low end, but the audience was just on fire the whole convention. And like you said, the afterglows were ridiculous. And every district has different resources and different, whatever, but it is cool. And it was very cool in my job to get to travel to different districts and kind of see how each one has its own little flavor and but Mid-Atlantic, man, sure is it's a crazy wild district to be a part of, man.
For sure. Mid-Atlantic also does a really great job of making their champion feel like the champion of the world.
Bro, absolutely.
Like so many chapters. I mean, I think Mid-Atlantic has a huge amount of individual chapters too, which is just so.
It's the largest district in the society.
Yeah, and so many chapters send you invites as soon as you win the district championship. They're just like, your inbox is full.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
Well, and it pulls from such a several
regions,
regions that have artistic sort of hubs, right? New York City, DC, Philly. A lot of heavy arts areas are part of the geographic makeup of MAD. So it's unsurprising that the floor to make the 10 and then to win, right? Like you're pushing. You have to be like a top 10 contender at international to win the district nowadays, and part of that maybe is the backlog from COVID, where we got to squeeze all, right? Maybe before.
Just kind of, yeah.
But even going back, when I joined the hobby in the 16, 15, somewhere in there, like Route 1 and Gimme Four and all these, like at that time it was still what was by today's standard like a top 10 or approaching top 10 score just to be a winner of the district.
It's always been
what was the district finals cutoff this year? It was insane. It was like 70 something.
75.
Oh,
yeah. It was like 75.
For a district.
For district finals.
75 for the finals.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Every single person
madness.
in the finals scored a 75 or higher, as I recall.
I remember talking to LJ from the Quintones. Shout out to the Quintones. Those guys are amazing. They sat out this last district, and partially joking, I was asking LJ why, and he was like, because we don't want to come in 8th. That's why.
Yeah, dude. It's tight, man. It is a fierce district, but it's a really great district to be a part of. So, and not to be cheesy, but you guys are a huge part of that. You guys have cultivated a lot of what makes MAD so special, and I think that's what's really cool about Gimme Four is that you guys aren't just like a quartet that's good, because every district has like good quartets, but you're a quartet that gets involved beyond quartetting. You guys all serve, you guys all give of yourselves, and you guys do, you do shows obviously all throughout the district, but you give your time and your energy to youth and to the camp, and it's a really special thing. So I'm curious, like you said that the camp was kind of born out of East Coast Sound, kind of aging out of this youth vibe, right?
I might have made that up. I don't know.
No, that's exactly what happened.
Definitely some truth to that.
Mostly true. Yeah.
Like, I'm glad, because I was rolling with it. I believed you.
No, it might be true.
Yeah, well, the society decided to gear Midwinter more towards like school groups, which was a great change. We were there last week, and every group that's in the youth chorus contest now is just high school chorus X from Y, right? And so you have all these students getting exposed to barbershop that wouldn't necessarily have, and the way it used to be was a lot of fun, but there were choruses like ours that were just like barbershoppers that happened to be young enough to be there, right? So they kind of made that change, and we said, okay, well, this was a huge administrative and logistical undertaking to get to Midwinter every year. What do we do with all that time and energy now? And we had always, there were some members of the Dapper Dans, Joe's father, Bill May, the treasurer of the Dans, who had always thrown around the idea of doing our own youth festival. There was one up in Sussex County for a little while, and then that kind of went away, and so there were teachers looking for it, and we said, let's just do it, let's dive in, and that was 2018, and this will be our 6th one. 18, 19, 20, 23. This will be our 5th one. Should have been our 7th, obviously.
We didn't do 22.
Wait, this
we
will
didn't
only
do 21
or
22.
Yeah, the COVID years
it's the 7th year, but
it's the 5th camp.
Yep.
Correct.
It's gracious.
So, but like I said,
That's
it was all
crazy.
It was all really dedicated teachers right from the get go that were looking for somewhere to bring their kids to expose them to barbershop. So we had a base of students already, which was awesome.
You have been you've been like a real heartbeat for that camp, right? I mean,
he's
as
gonna
far
be
as like,
I was just
going to
say, he loves to be complimented
because you're going to be too modest. I need to hear from you guys. Like,
this is a
all right, see ya.
What goes into
I'll be eating a cupcake for the next 20 minutes.
I'll take care of this one. I got this, boys. So Will Downey, who is already squirming in his seat, which I just love, has been the festival chairman since we started doing it and has absolutely been the heartbeat of it. And I don't mean to imply that other people haven't been involved in helping to make it a success. Of course they have. There's a tremendous amount of work that goes into it. Alex has served on the JHE committee for years. I've served on the committee for years. Joey is selfish, so he doesn't. But
That's not true.
But his father does. His father does, and numerous other people do as well. Obviously, I'm just joking.
His face.
Hey, KJ said we want to get to know Gimme Four.
That's
okay?
right. We
Now
do.
you're going to get to know Gimme
The
Four.
bad and the ugly. Yes.
And now we know Paul Franek.
That's right.
So Will has been unbelievably selfless and extremely dedicated and extremely focused, and has absolutely been the heartbeat of the festival all the years that we've done it, and probably always will be for as long as we do it. So we're very grateful to him for all the work that he's done to help make it what it is.
Well, the fact that you say it's only the fifth camp is crazy, because we did it 2 years ago or
last year.
Last year.
Last year.
It looks like a camp that has been running for 15 years. It looks like and feels like and has the administrative structure and the attendance and participation of a camp that's just been building for 15 plus years. So, I mean, that is a huge testament to you and everybody else who pours into the camp. And I gotta, I guess if I was going to ask a question, it's like, what do you think is the biggest, element or the biggest reason why you think you've seen such success? And like, what could other chapters and districts that are trying to emulate the same kind of thing, like, what could they do? What have you done that you think you would impart on others who are trying to do the same thing?
I think at least part of it was the fact that we just jumped in. We kind of like had no fear in a way, and it was definitely risky, because like we probably did some things before we actually had the money to do.
Bro,
We definitely did that.
But the thing about the success we've had is like, we've gotten grants from the society and now HFI AIC, and you kind of have to say, this is what we're doing before they'll give you the money. So like we said, okay, like
if you build it,
let's bring in the best quartets. Let's put on it. Like let's have all these elements to it that cost a bit of money, but if we say this is what we're going to do, generally they're like, okay, this sounds worthy. Here's the money to do it. But you kind of have to take that leap and just say, this is what we're doing before you get those grants.
Yeah. Will really spearheaded. I mean, the thing about, we talk in Barbershop all the time, like, oh, how do we get the youth involved? And Will is very, very much just like you just have to do it, right? Like you just kind of have to do the work.
Right.
And on the administrative side,
perfection is the enemy of progress.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
that's right.
On the administrative side, you said that your perception is that it was very well organized with a lot of, the first couple of years, I didn't join the committee right away, but like years 1 and 2, Will was just like doing it kind of on his own. And then like last minute, like, hey, everybody, like, can you come give a hand? And I watched him. I was like, hey, like,
and then that third year, Alex was like, "You should delegate."
Why don't we? But like, why don't we create
I guess
exactly? Why don't we
that.
create a structure where you've got like jobs and roles, and so there's sort of a template that I suggested it, and Will then refined it and built it out, and now we have just like a document. It's like a 2-page Word document with all the 55 tasks or whatever that have to get done, and roughly by when they need to get done. And then our
Very
first
roughly.
meeting, rough. They're target deadlines, right?
Right.
But having just a little bit of structure, and then like having a person or a set of persons responsible for different areas.
Yep.
It takes the burden off Will, so he can stay at a high level in planning and organizing and pushing forward the meetings, right? Like none of us are scheduling the meetings. Like, our next meeting is on this day. Who can make it, right?
Sure.
Instead of like finding the songs, hiring the contract, right? Like, so it's more, there's more delegation than when it first started. And that's a big tip that I think Will and I have passed on when other people
make it
asked
more
us about
sustainable.
I would say
for
that
anybody.
another thing that's really important is not to be too reactive, and which may sound counterintuitive, but like when it feels a little overnight successful. But I mean, in this area, there were, like Will was saying, there was the Sussex festival that teachers would bring their students to. Before this, there was the Festival of Harmony, which people would bring their students to.
You guys participated in.
Yes,
yeah, which we were. I mean, and that went for years before we were involved as well. And so like it existed. There was a culture of that here. It kind of went away for probably a good number of years. It went away for like 6, 7, 8 years, but like the teachers were still there, and the interest was still there. And if you look at like a group that's trying to do this in the middle of nowhere, not even in the middle of nowhere, but in a place where it's never existed before, it's you have to stick to your guns and say like, this is what we know, that this makes a good experience, and we've talked to the people that have done it, and we've seen it work in other places. It's going to take time to gain traction, because when you're asking teachers and even individuals who may not have the value of this already in their brain to like, hey, give up your whole Saturday. And give up your whole Saturday of many Saturdays and secure funding from your district or
and shepherd 20 kids through to this unknown.
It's a big ask. It's a big ask, especially if they don't know you all that well. As you said, hey, there's this great thing that we have to offer. Trust us.
Well, how big of a deal do you think it is? School visits. How big of a role does that play in gaining the trust of music educators?
Like going out and doing the school visits. We actually for this festival we didn't do a ton. We did actually with Alex. We did a couple,
we've done a bunch,
but
yeah.
I guess more at the beginning of it. But yeah, I mean, being able to put a face, and
I think for
name to it.
You're right. And I've seen we've been able to go typically when we go do a youth camp or something, or we go to a chapter show, and they're trying to like build up attendance for the youth camp. They'll have us go visit like 5 schools throughout the day. You guys have done that countless times, I'm sure, but that is always huge in getting the teachers to kind of see like, oh, this is not just like a weird thing. Like this is really cool, and the kids are responding to it. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too, because man, and I don't mean this the wrong way, but like you have to be picky about who you're putting in front of the kids to try, and the teachers, the music educators, to say, hey, we're doing this thing, come be a part of it. And the reality is, if you don't put the right quartet or the right kind of quartet in front of the kids and the music educator, you might do more harm than good. And I've seen that, and it's okay. And that's where it's like, everybody's trying, and not everybody can bring out an international quartet or a top 10, top 20 quartet to come and promote their youth camp and stuff. So they send like one of their chapter quartets and whatnot. And I think, but to the flip side of that coin, I've also seen chapters, they don't have top level quartets. Their quartets are just, Joes in the chapter who are, singing polecats or singing, the oldies, and they go and put themselves out in front of kids, and they're not the best singing quartet. But they keep investing in the schools. So they'll donate sheet music, or they'll donate voice lessons, and they'll bring people out to teach, and they'll even just help serve at the schools, like Christmas concerts. They'll usher, or they'll set up chairs, and it's like those relationships I've seen really, really be impactful, even if they don't have like this top level quartet to go and wow and razzle dazzle the kids. So I think relationships are such a huge part of the success of those kinds of events, and you guys have been developing those relationships for the last 7 years now. So you guys probably have a pretty tight base of people that you're already connected with.
Yeah, we do. And a lot of them are barbershoppers themselves, the teachers.
Oh, see,
a lot of barbershoppers.
That's great.
That's the easiest.
That's a good
transition.
A lot of barbershoppers.
But we do
teach
we get a couple new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times? Like, what would you say? Like each year, do you get like new groups?
Probably get 2 to 3 groups that have directors that haven't brought
That's awesome.
students before. So
that's great,
cool.
man.
Yeah, and this year really excited because we're taking signature around the day before.
Yes.
To 3 different schools on the Friday before the festival. The hopes of making new connections and exposing even more kids to it.
Yeah, I remember when we did you guys' youth camp, and you took us around to the school. Oh wait. Oh, you didn't. Why didn't you?
We're just trying to get better every year.
We were talking about
Hey, we've always prided ourselves that our camp is kind of like the Kingmakers because we had after hours in 2018. So we just got you an international championship. Right. That's all.
We were talking about this the other day because we just did the Silk City Chorus show last night. We did 2 shows yesterday.
Oh,
which is why my voice is like right down here because I sang till 2:30 in the morning.
Nice.
But we did their chapter show, and when we did their first show in 2020, and they said they were like, every time we bring a chapter quartet to be on our show,
they win
the next year. And like, there's been like 4 chapters who said that to us every time we.
We're the ones.
I've heard that too. Like that's like a tagline. Like,
it's really funny.
I don't believe in superstitions like that. I really don't believe in those. But anyway, can I have that contact information for the chapter? We're just looking for some gigs.
Silk City Chorus, come on down. Yeah, no, but it's funny, man. I think what you guys are doing is incredible, and being able to see it firsthand and just knowing that we're going to get invited back again is so awesome. At some point. But.
Absolutely, man.
Well, now that we can get you through the AIC,
that's
that actually
right.
does help a lot.
AIC grants, baby. Woo. No, that is a pretty awesome thing. Not gonna lie.
But like to your point, like you guys are the perfect quartet to put in front of that population. Like,
thanks, man.
Arrangements are fresh and interesting, and
Do
you
you
guys
remember-
don't look that old, so it's pretty.
In the context of Barbershop, you guys are cool.
That's right. We are barber cool.
Do you remember?
I don't know those turtlenecks.
The like screeching reactions to like anything that was even remotely loud. Like your whole set was interrupted by just like
last year in particular, they
lost their
rowdy bunch.
That was crazy, man. Yeah, it's really cool. It's fun. Youth camps and youth festivals and stuff. Those are like the most fun concerts to do.
And like going back to what you said before, it's like, oh, you guys like you get involved, but like we had all that first. All of that happened. Like they went to this Festival of Harmony. Mm-hmm. They were in the Retromen, which is a group I direct now at the high school. We went to, like the Dans. We sang in the chapter first. TriStar, now East Coast Sound. We all sang in that before the quartet. So all of that existed before the quartet. Those are our roots. Like we stand on the backs of those giants in so many ways.
I can drive home the importance of that element too. Oh, sorry, you were.
I was just saying there was never going to be any other way for us to exist other than like continuing to do those things. Like,
right.
We were molded by
it's not like we were a quartet and like, oh, let's go do something good. Like that's
no,
the
it
foundation of the quartet.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
And the difference between somebody who would be interested in that and would want to do it but didn't have that opportunity or have that exposure or that whatever you want to call it, opportunity as a kid, is the difference between these 3 guys and me, right? Mm-hmm. I heard Barbershop. I think my father took me to see Acoustics at like a show when I was like 5 or 6 or something. Oh, wow. I had no idea that I was seeing a Barbershop Harmony Society or Spebsqua or whatever quartet at that time.
And even your dad wasn't a barbershopper. It's just something he was interested in.
My father wasn't a barbershopper until like a couple of years ago, right? Wasn't a member of the society, right? So I didn't have any idea that this was like an organized thing. I just thought that was like a group. And then a friend of mine like taught me a tag in college who was a part of the society. He didn't tell me anything about the society either. Just like I was, going along where I was like, oh, that was really fun. Wow. He gave me like a Gas House CD. And I was like, I played it until it burnt out. Like when you play the CD now, it goes from my car. Awesome. But until I was 25, 24, I had no idea that the society even existed until I like Googled barbershop near me and like stumbled into a Voices of Gotham rehearsal.
It's like last year.
Off the street. Yeah.
And then we went to a district contest and we saw him singing with his quartet and we're like, where did this guy come? Dude. And you weren't even doing the ultra Alex stuff yet. It was just like G on Smile, and we're like, oh my god, like we need to get him for our chorus right now,
which we did.
I made my way into East Coast Sound from there, but it was just like by happenstance. And if I had been in a school with like we do this thing, we have this festival, there's this organization, we have this choruses nearby, you could get involved. I would have been so in quick.
Totally.
That was a really great friend, by the way, who gave you a Gas House Gang CD. Whoever did that needs to be
Andrew McCartney. He lives in Allentown, and we went to college together.
All right, shout out.
Why is he not in East Coast Sound?
He's in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Man, we got way farther than
I was going to
Allentown,
say,
Pennsylvania.
you got Boston.
I think he's got a bunch of kids now. I don't know. Life.
Why aren't
life
they
is
in
hard.
East Coast
I'll let
Sound?
your excuses.
That's right. We're actually getting to the age now where we're like, hey, your kid is destined to be East Coast Sound. I actually said that to Jeff Klimowski. I was like, we claim your children for East Coast Sound, right? Like,
We're putting a down payment on that so we can secure them for their future. For East Coast Sound. They're not allowed to sing with any other chorus.
Yep.
Yeah, how far away is your guys' rehearsal from here?
About an hour.
Interesting question.
Oh, man.
So KJ,
brought
listen,
that up.
quick question.
I was just curious. I just wanted to know. I should have brought it up. I it's been a long time since I've been in a chorus. The last time I was really in a chorus, I was
City,
with Gotham a few times, right at the beginning of Midtown. But the last time I was really active in a chorus was Music City Chorus when I lived in Nashville, and I was very, very involved there. And it was when Music City Chorus was really like kind of turning a page into like a really high quality chorus. And I made a lot of great memories there. But chorus singing
It's tough.
it's tough.
It can be tough.
It's tough. It's great. It's fun. It's if it's local, because I was 15 minutes from the rehearsal at that point. But I have such big respect for the people that travel 1, 2, 3 hours to be a part of.
Dude, we were
chorus.
in Russia in 2017 with the Interstate Rivals, and Jay Hawkins was talking about how he goes at the time. I don't know if he still does. At the time, he was going to Music City. Ambassadors.
Oh, Jay Hawkins. Yeah.
He's just like
He does
traveling
it, dude.
3 and 4 hours, like gold medal, double gold medalist
Double gold
singer,
medalist and still
just going
just-
and still doing the thing
Yeah,
3 and
dude.
4 hours away. So huge shout out to Jay.
Jay's the man.
That
dude.
is the dream, honestly.
He's living it, dude. He's the barbershopper's barbershopper.
And you know how difficult it can be just from a time management. The singing. Whether
yeah.
it's difficult to slot your voice or whatever, that's one thing. But the pure logistics, right? Like as doing a long distance quartet, like Midtown, similar to my quartet, where we're doing a lot of logistical, we're doing a lot of meetings, a lot of things in between rehearsal that are taking a lot of time, a lot of planning, because you have to make sure you can get every ounce out of the weekend.
That's right.
With the coach or with whatever, you're paying for that stuff. So doing all of that stuff and showing up to a rehearsal every single week at a chorus, right, while trying to work and like live a,
Right. No, it's true.
a full-time life and job and that kind of stuff.
And then throw kids into the mix, and it's like, whoo.
we ask a lot of our families, like a lot.
Oh, 100%.
Like Paul and I have Dapper Dan's every Tuesday, and then we have East Coast Sound once a month, and then we have quartet rehearsal every Wednesday, and
Wait, East Coast Sound is only once a month?
East Coast Sound is once a month.
Sorry, keep killing.
Stop it! Don't do this.
Yeah, it's only once a month. Actually, that's
Teasing.
one of the things I was gonna say is like one of the reasons why East Coast Sound is so special is that because it is only once a month, it's not just that like there's a higher standard of expectation for like music preparedness. It's also like every moment is a little sweeter because
dude.
it's not like there's no throwaway moments because we get together. It's one afternoon. You're there from 12 or from 1 until 4:30, 5 o'clock, and that's it. That's when you get to see your buddies. And make great music.
Wait,
So-
it's in the afternoon? It's not even in the evenings?
not in the evening. It's not in the morning.
Wait a minute, hold on, keep going. I'm sorry.
KJ,
Sorry.
don't make promises you can't keep, my man.
With free babysitting. as well.
Yeah, they're getting they have enough kids now in the family where there's going to be a barber tots room.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah,
a
there you go.
rehearsal space. Yeah.
I was actually
There's a per diem
the
too
worst
for each
thing.
member.
I was actually asked about that. Like, well, do the families get together? Like, is there a place for the kids and like the significant others to go? And I was like, not yet, but
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
This is all new
especially-
territory for us.
It's on Saturdays. Is that when you typically
Yes.
meet?
On the
Once
weekend,
a month?
yeah. Yeah.
And dude, that's a great idea to have like a family space or part of the rehearsal be, where the families can be involved. In
there's
some
like 3
way.
Chuck E. Cheese's in 10 Mile.
Yeah.
Welcome to New Jersey.
That's awesome. And I think that's it's such a special thing what East Coast Sound is doing because of that kind of like arrangement, how you guys have organized it. And, it's kind of like what Parkside was doing in the beginning. They're a little more, I think they're like twice a month now for the rehearsal?
I think so.
I could be wrong.
It's been a couple
Don't
of years.
Quote me on that.
But they were twice a month. They were every other Monday while I was doing it.
Gotcha.
And that was through like a little after Orlando. So
Yeah.
early 2019.
Yeah.
For
But I
us,
think
it
that's,
was like that's how the chorus existed. And when we weren't going to Midwinter anymore, it was like, okay, we're going to charter as a chapter. Should we rehearse more often? But we knew that like the guys were used to that commitment,
Yep.
and we were going to probably lose people that wouldn't otherwise sing Barbershop if we did it that way. So we're just like,
Right. And guys
let's
live,
just keep
live
it and
far
see what
away.
happens.
Like, it's
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
it. It's East Coast Sound draws membership
Yeah.
from a
From
decent
far away.
distance. I definitely think, I mean, of course I'm biased. I'm in it, right? But I do think it's a special group and always has been.
sure.
And when, like Will was saying, when the kind of focus of what the chorus contest, the youth chorus contest at Midwinter, when the focus of that kind of shifted, we were kind of at an impasse a little bit and kind of at a crossroads and had to decide what to do. And what we decided was most important was the kind of family, the chorus family we had built. And so our decision was we don't want to tell people you can't do this anymore. So we decided to charter and kind of just change the way that. And it happened again too. Originally we had set a policy for East Coast Sound that 35 was going to be the age limit period, right? And then I know which
and then
in
you all became
retrospect,
35. You're like, wait a minute. Hold on.
so first of all, do not age me 5 years. Very important.
Sorry.
But in all seriousness, we got to a point where it was like, well, hold on a second. Isn't this still antithetical to what the whole point of this was? We wanted to keep this chorus family together. Why are we going to kick people out?
Yeah.
So we did away with that as well.
That happens with every chorus that tries to do that. I mean, Westminster did the exact same thing when they started. You know, there's several courses that wanted to follow that like Westminster, model in the beginning, and they had this age cutoff, and it was going to be these young. But then they created a family and a community, and everybody got older, and they're like, well, wait a minute, what are we doing here?
Hold on a second.
You know,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tim Works moving back to the
Exactly.
East Coast.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Hang on a
we
second.
can nudge that age.
I bet we can get
That was part of
Oh,
it.
guys, new age
37-year-old
limit
in
is 36, guys. We're good.
New age limit is Tim Work. As long as you're younger than Tim Work, and you can.
No, but in all seriousness, it's a special group of people
Yeah.
that really are. There's a strong bond there, and it's just a wonderful group to be a part of. And we've managed to maintain the youth centric focus in spite of not having like a hard age cap, because the one of the goals of the chorus is still to encourage people to come into Barbershop and to experience it at a really high level.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, man. We're just seeing so much more of that, like with Parkside and Youth guys, and and what Westminster did in the beginning, but it was still very local. But now you're seeing these chapters that are pulling from much further away, doing less frequent rehearsals. And I think I just saw you guys probably heard of it, Praxis.
Yeah.
I think they're doing an online chorus that's not even going to meet until
Prism.
I
Prism.
said Praxis. That's the quartet. Sorry.
Yeah.
Prism. Thank you. Yeah, I saw the Prism where it's online audition, and then you're going to learn your music, and basically you're just going to show up, and
It's a great idea.
how cool is that,
Isn't
right?
GNU doing a kind of hybrid model like that, or they were for a while? Also?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's a lot of courses doing that, which I have mixed feelings about, because I feel like, I think it's awesome, and it's a different way to experience Barbershop, and that's great.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, I'm so partial to that local community weekly kind of family feeling where, it's that one night every week where, you get together with your friends and sing tags and eat and, whatever. And that's an experience that's what got me into Barbershop, like that family feeling. And just being a part of Music City Chorus, who still is they're a weekly, every Tuesday chapter. And we're seeing more of these like less frequent rehearsals, wider net cast, with learning tracks now, it's way easier to make sure people are prepared for less rehearsals and stuff. So,
And everybody found ways to rehearse remotely during the pandemic.
Yeah,
so
dude.
it was a more natural transition.
That's true, man. Well, that brings me to a question too, because we talked a little bit about how, it's hard on our families. Like, we ask a lot of our families, and we sometimes forget, like, we're barbershoppers, but we're people, and we've got jobs and
Yep.
other hobbies and family members, and illnesses and, financial things and everything. So let's hear a little bit about Gimme Four outside of the barbershop world. Like, what is, tell us a little bit about your life that has nothing to do with barbershop.
That's actually really easy for me to start with. I don't do anything other than barbershop.
That's not
So
true at all.
we can get that get that right out of the way. Guys, who's next?
We'll start with Joey and we'll go around this way.
There we go.
So
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, I have a wife and a son. He's 2 years old, and he loves it. He's super musical and excited. Loves to meet new people, and the kid literally, you put him to sleep and he sings for like 40 minutes before he actually goes to sleep. My dad wrote a Facebook post the other day. He's like, he was like, with Joseph and Connor, and we had a great night, and then at the end of the night Connor went to sleep peacefully, and I was like, these are half truths.
Yeah. Everything you see on social media is a lie.
Yeah, he went to sleep peacefully. He hasn't slept peacefully, gotten to sleep peacefully ever in his entire existence. He sat there and sang the Wheels on the Bus as he stared defiantly into the monitor. But man, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of my son, and just the way how outgoing he is, and wanting to meet people and be involved. Like when
that's so cool, man. I want to hear about you, not your son.
I'm just kidding. Do you really though? I mean, like,
it's the family.
I love your son. He's
the Family Guy meme.
Man.
Look at pictures of my kid.
Yeah.
But other
it's
than
like,
that,
who are you? Well, here's my kid. This is my identity right here.
I mean, like,
This is who I am for the next 18 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that.
There's such truth to
a
that.
lot of truth to it,
dude.
I make if professionally, I make warm places into cold places. I'm
And vice versa, or just
It
warm
used to
and
be
cold?
vice versa. Now
Recently
it's just-
started a new job.
Now it's just warm places to cold places. I do refrigeration, so
Yeah, like for air conditioning units and stuff.
I used to do air
'Cause I got
conditioning
some
units.
issues, bro.
Well, okay.
We can take a look at
This is how this conversation goes every time. It's like, well, it's making this noise. What does that mean?
you
And
do
Joe's like,
HVAC.
I do inventory. I'm not a tech.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so that's what I do professionally. I'm in the
Love that.
yeah. It's a cool job.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, it took me 3 seconds to get it. Now I get it. How many times have you used that joke?
Today.
Every-
That's, as far as you know, it's reserved for you.
Where did you grow up?
Caldwell, right where East Coast Sound
Cool.
meets. Yeah, I was at West Caldwell, James Caldwell High School. Yeah,
Whole quartet actually.
the
Same
whole
town.
quartet.
Oh,
all from
really?
the same town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is what makes you guys.
That's actually one of the
Guys.
things. I was going to say that
Guys.
earlier. One of the things that makes that has made our journey special is the fact that we got to be like bad together. We got to be like, we got to be.
It's very true.
We got to be like, we didn't like get together because it was going to be like this rock star thing. It was like, hey, you want to get together and be mediocre? And it was like, yeah, we do actually.
And mediocre we were.
And mediocre we were. No, it was just.
I do credit it a lot to us sticking together though, because like you see quartets where you have these big gaps in skill, and I feel like a lot of times just doesn't work because the more experienced singers, they lose patience for that, and we never had that. We were always kind of riding that same wave. The coaching was always kind of on the same level for all four of us, and we just kind of did it together, and that's what was cool about it.
That's awesome. And that
What
is
is still
a
cool about it?
really cool. I mean, you don't see that very often. I think if I was another quartet that kind of embodies that, I would think of like Round Midnight.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
they've been around for 20 years.
Yeah. Started
Same
out scoring
personnel.
like 65 or something like
Right,
that,
and they've been
just
doing it for 20
top 10
years, and
quartet.
now they're that's pretty neat, man. And you
I
guys
really
are the
hope
same.
they're coming back to
Me
international
too,
this
man.
year. I think they are.
I hope so.
I think so.
Did anybody hear?
Love those guys. I haven't heard.
Breaking news here on the
Yeah.
podcast. No,
Do you have a sounder?
Yeah.
Breaking news.
man, that's awesome, dude. Local
Yeah.
HVAC, sun.
Yeah.
Love it, dude.
Cool job.
What about you, Will?
So I'm a music teacher.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know any barbershoppers that do that.
But I teach middle school strings. So I was
Strings?
I am a violin player. I was a violin player. I didn't even really start singing until like senior year of high school, and then also kind of put it away all during college. I didn't make it into the a cappella group my first 2 years at college, and then stopped trying. So I was pretty much just
crazy.
playing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you might listen to our second CD and say, man, he probably learned this Devil Went Down to Georgia just for this specific moment.
Thanks.
No.
Other way around, baby.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
And then just after college, Joey said we all went to the same high school. We're not like the awesome brothers in arms who have stayed together at being a high school quartet. We weren't a quartet in high school.
Right, that's because Joey and I are young and you and Dave are old.
There we go.
Yeah.
I see.
So Dave and I were the same graduating class, and when Dave moved back from college, he started going to Dapper Dan's rehearsal every Tuesday, and I was like, when are you going to invite me? And he was like, do you want to come? I was like, yes, that's why I asked. And
Dapper Dan's are very exclusive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't invited you because you didn't make
you
your
didn't get-
acapella group.
So then that's how the quartet formed. But I have a wife, Lisa, as well, and a son, Jordan. What's been cool is that our sons are only about 6 months apart,
how cool.
even less.
Yeah.
And so they've grown up together and will continue to.
Wow.
So we've been on that journey together. I'll never forget. We were actually recording our second album, and I came into the room. I was like, I don't even. How did I say it?
You said
Connor was they were both of our wives were expecting. Connor wasn't even born yet. You remember this?
Yes, I do. I remember it very vividly. You said we were about to go over to our microphones, and you said before we start, Joey, just quick question: are you ready for Connor to have a little playmate?
You didn't get it at first. You're like, what are you talking?
He's like, yeah, sure.
Hey.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
That's kind of weird because Nick and Anthony have both had their
That's
babies
right.
like a month apart. Like both of them, their first
twice.
sons were born
Oh,
very,
and
very
they're
close,
both
like a month
expecting
apart,
now,
and
too.
now
That's right.
their due dates are 3 days apart.
Really?
Wow, that's crazy.
It's kind of weird.
That's crazy.
Almost
at
like
least-
they're almost like it's a plan because it's too many.
all sync-
Well, because
coincidences.
then you don't have to navigate so many due dates when you're getting gigs. You just be like, okay, we just block out this chunk of time where we can't take gigs, right?
Meanwhile, I've been in my quartet for almost 4.5, almost 5 years, and there has been a pregnant wife, not mine, for that entire time.
Someone has always been pregnant. I'm pretty
your
sure.
quartet needs to calm down.
Pretty
Your
sure.
quartet's repopulating the earth, my
Your
man.
quartet is trying to take
I have-
over by
I take-
sheer numbers.
I take no responsibility.
Bro.
Yeah, maybe very briefly, but I'm pretty sure there's been someone pregnant the entire time. that I've been there.
Goodness gracious, man. The First Take Village.
Seriously.
First take VLQ coming to you in
Oh, it's amazing,
2035.
Well, you know, they say when it comes to raising kids, they always say, "Oh, it takes a village." Well, they've got the village, so they're good. they
They're
can support
raising
all they
the
need.
village. It's the opposite.
the village district.
The village people.
Jeez. Dude, that's awesome, Will. That's great,
So
man.
that's pretty much.
Did you bring your violin? Can we get a little?
Not.
No?
I did not.
Grab one of your guitars
I was
off the
gonna
wall,
say,
though. Here,
You got a bow?
Yeah, you got the
Make it work.
collection.
Have you ever seen those little pick bows?
I have. I've never used one.
I've never used one too. It
looks pretty cool.
I ordered one off some ad I saw on Facebook and it never came.
It never came?
Yeah, I'm kind of
Really?
mad. I'm sure. I'm
Guess
pretty
they won't
sure
be
it was one of those-
sponsoring the podcast anytime
right.
soon.
I think it was one of those scam ads. You know how you see on
Yeah.
Facebook,
Yeah,
they'll be
yeah.
like, this really cool thing. It'll be like super cheap. And then you click on it and like the website is some like obscure name and it's like PayPal, go pay for it, go quick, come on, pay us, give us money, and then they never send anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's what happened.
I'll send you an old bow and you can cut it down.
Sweet. All right, what about you, Paul?
well, so obviously grew up in Caldwell as well with the rest of the guys in the
Yes.
quartet. So I guess some barbershop history first. When I was in middle school, I saw the Retro Men, which is the high school male a cappella group that Will now directs, full circle. I saw them and I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I want to do that, right? So when I got to high school, first
Just
thing
most
I-
people's reaction to it.
Of course, naturally. So the first thing I did when I got to high school is I found out when the Retro Men rehearsals were. Went to the rehearsal, got into it, was enjoying it. Funnily enough, I don't even know if you guys know this or you may have forgotten because it could have been a while.
The
but-
story of your first midwinter?
No, we'll get to that. Mike D'Andrea, the director of the group at the time, put me on baritone. I sang one rehearsal on baritone. I was like, this sucks.
This is the worst.
I went right up
man.
to him afterward and I was like, can I sing lead instead? He's like, yeah, sure. And I enjoyed it significantly more. So I actually sang lead for quite a while when I started. But after just maybe a month or two of those rehearsals, I was really getting into it. And Mike D'Andrea, the same guy, said to me, hey, we also have this other chorus that rehearses. It's like a similar thing. It's on Tuesday nights, and the rest is history. Like I went to my first Dapper Dan's rehearsal and like went straight into it, and I loved it.
Nice.
What year in high school was that?
Freshman year.
You were going since freshman. Wow,
Yep.
I don't think
I started
I knew that.
the second I got to high school. I went right to Retroman rehearsals and ended up joining the Dan's right after that. So, and then TriStar Chorus formed, which is I assume what you were going to refer to.
Yes.
And it was like this really cool thing, and it's going to be going to the Midwinter Convention and all this stuff. I was petrified of flying, and so I declined to participate because I was afraid.
Oh,
to
no,
fly
that's
to
not-
San
you didn't wanna
Antonio.
fly.
That's not
Yeah.
the story I was thinking.
Well,
of.
I guess we can get to that one.
I think you have to preface it by saying that Paul is the most avid Barbershop fan in the Quartet by a country mile.
Possibly
He'll-
on planet Earth.
I love it, dude. I love it.
There's probably some people out there that would challenge you for that, but
I invite them to bring it on. But regardless, I do know what you're talking
I
about
text
now.
2 people when I have questions about weird barbershop lore because I
Yeah.
haven't been doing it.
Is it
It's him
P-Mac and me?
No, it's you and Francesco.
Francesco.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to PMAC too, though. He's got
Yeah,
that
PMAC's got
knowledge
some.
locked away. But in any event, my story's ending up longer than everyone else's, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it.
And
so-
it's surrounding completely around Barbershop, so that too.
So Mike called my
yeah, KJ, tell us about yourself
tell us
outside of Barbershop.
I told you before. I
started
already
singing
warned you.
Barbershop in,
I already warned you. There's nothing else going on there. So Mike D'Andrea calls my mom and goes, hey, he's not going to do this because he's afraid to fly. And my mom was like, that's dumb. He should do it. He's like, okay, I'm going to put him on the list. And that's how I ended up in TriStar Chorus and how
Oh,
I
so you
ultimately
did
ended
do
up with East Coast Sound. Yeah.
But didn't you at that first convention like not go to the shows?
Yes. So I went. So at the first convention, yes, I sat in the room playing video games on my Nintendo DS almost the entire convention. I sang with
why?
the chorus,
Because
obviously.
you were just nervous? Or?
No, I just wanted to play video games, which
Oh.
hasn't really changed much, to be honest with you.
I guess.
But I was forced to go to the Saturday night show, and I saw OC Time sing with. I saw OC Time sing that was their silver medal year, and I saw them sing with Tom Metzger on bass because Corey Hunt was having eye surgery, and like. Absolutely transformational experience. That was when I fell in love with Barbershop. Was right then. I saw that and I was like, "Oh my god!" I still have my signed OC Times CD with 3 of their signatures.
That's awesome, dude.
I mean, that was like the moment that everything changed for me.
You haven't gotten Corey to go sign it yet? Since?
No, but I actually should now that you mention it.
Yeah,
You should have brought it
that'd be
to.
good.
I should have brought it to
wherever-
Della, yeah,
wherever-
yeah.
Wherever it was.
Oh yeah, when OC Times got hired to come do Della.
Right, which was just this
is
past
last year,
Yeah,
that's
exactly. I should have thought of that, but I didn't. Outside of Barbershop, as promised, I work in finance, in treasury specifically, for a private equity firm in the city.
Oh, nice.
I still live in Caldwell. Great town. May always be there. Who knows?
You guys love Caldwell.
Naturally, he's the treasurer for the. Oh wait, no,
I'm not
no.
the treasurer
You're
for
not?
either
Not
of
the treasurer
choruses,
for the
which is,
quartet.
which is great, actually.
Oh, that's
I love
hilarious.
not being the treasurer
Or
for the
the-
choruses.
or the committee.
Or for the committee, for the
Really?
JHE, yeah.
Anthony is
it's great.
definitely our treasurer. He's our finance tax geek.
Yeah,
So.
Anthony also works in the private equity space.
He does,
Which is,
same.
he and I have nerded about that a couple times.
Yep.
So yeah, I spend a good amount of time working and a very good amount of time singing Barbershop. Happily divorced, which may be connected to those things, not sure.
Happily
He did not
divorced.
see that coming.
Got him.
I was like,
KJ did
I
not
literally
see
thought you
that
were going to say
coming.
married. You're like, happily divorced. I was like, oh, skirt.
We got to work that into the show
Yeah.
package.
Yeah, right.
Paul is very happy about it.
You can see that. This grinning ear to ear.
Listen,
It's
man,
like,
life's good, dude. Life's good.
wow, man. More time for barbershop.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You don't have kids, right?
No.
Yeah. No kids. That's my security system telling me that it's dying.
Well,
So.
hilariously, your security system just said communication failure, which once
Ah,
again may have something to do
that
with
was,
the divorce. I mean, I can't say for sure.
Look at that. That's awesome, man.
His only children are around his wrists.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a big watch enthusiast.
It's hilarious. We first thing when we sat down, he's like, "Hey, you're not wearing your Rolex." And he's like, "Yeah, it's because I ended up wearing this blue Gimme Four shirt, and I didn't want to wear my green watch. Just didn't match."
Yeah.
You're a watch guy, huh?
I'm a big watch guy.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
I've spent
Me
far
too.
too
I
much
got
money on
this.
them.
He's going to a watch podcast right after this, actually.
That sounds really fun.
a
Where
watch
is it?
convention.
Where is it?
You guys all just stand in a square 4 and just like sync up your watches with each other. And, like,
Barber watch. Paul's two favorite things at once.
that's
Oh my
amazing.
god, that's really funny. Instead of standing around and singing tags, hey, do you guys want to sync up your watches?
Sync up our watches. You guys want to do some stopwatch? Let's do it. Let's see who's got.
Amazing.
Isn't that funny though? There's so many conventions and weird niche
Little hobbies.
like that where they do weird things and have their own little like Comic-Cons and anime conventions and
those are like mainstream now. There's
those are
conventions,
pretty huge.
There's
yeah.
conventions
For
for like
everything.
the nichest like sub niche of sub niche model trains and like
Yeah,
the
dude.
specific types of model. Like you think of it, there is
a
convention
convention
for it. Ours are not even close to the
dude.
smallest or most niche. Not
It's
even close.
hilarious, man.
Also, and it's pretty on the flip side of that is when we talk about how we go to our conventions, like our international convention is like, wow, the society is descending upon a city and a space,
Right.
and it's just like it's dwarfed by the Penn convention that's going to be there next
the
Tuesday.
Penn convention.
Yeah,
Dude, Penn is
Straight
a
up.
thing.
I know.
There's a guy on my Facebook. That's Penn's. Like Penn's is his thing.
The Penn convention, dude. I got a funny story. I was at a Far Western District convention for Harmony Foundation, and it was in a convention center, so there was multiple ballrooms, and one of the ballrooms was the Barbershop convention for the Far Western District. The other two ballrooms that were surrounding the Barbershop one of them was a little people convention. So it was a lot of little people walking around. And the other one was a cross-dressing convention.
My God.
So you had this
Oh, my word.
unbelievable collision of three worlds. and it was amazing because you would see these four like old barbershoppers standing there singing for these cross-dressers and these little people, and everybody's just laughing and be like, oh, that was amazing. And it was
What a
just this
scene.
weird,
What a
like
scene.
crazy combination of worlds. But it was like these conventions, like you said, there's a convention for
everything.
For
Yeah.
everything.
People like to
You know?
connect over things that they have in common or that
Exactly,
they
man.
enjoy.
And it was really cool to see that, like, the initial shock, you were like, what is happening? Am I in an episode of something?
Yeah, this is clearly a setup.
But then you saw like all three of these conventions like start to intertwine and mingle and singing for each other, and it was a really neat thing. But it just highlights just the diversity of humans.
I was just going to
You know
ask
what I
you,
mean?
were there any cross-dressing little people that were bouncing back and forth between the conventions?
A cross-dressing little
Or all
person
three,
barbershopper.
yeah.
That was
the Venn diagram.
You never
in
know.
the center.
Yeah, I want to see that Venn diagram. Yeah. What's the thing in the middle that we all? It was crazy though. It was a really fun experience. But Alex,
Let's hear
what's
about
what's
Alex.
about you?
Outside of barbershop.
Outside of
I follow
barbershop.
instructions. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Outside of barbershop.
because you're a lawyer.
Yes, I am a lawyer, and I sue insurance companies.
Boom.
Always.
Wha-bam.
I'm a policyholder lawyer or insurance recovery lawyer, which basically means I represent the people that bought the policy, submitted the claim, and got told no. They call my firm or
Huzzah.
me or whoever, and we take it from there. And yeah, I've been a lawyer since 2020. I graduated from law school, and I was barred like very early 2021. I work for a national law firm that's based in Roseland, New Jersey, and
Right next to Caldwell.
yes, next to Caldwell. I am not from Caldwell. I am from Basking Ridge, which is near where I live now in Morristown, New Jersey, about an hour from here. And I live with my wife, Deidre, and outside of singing
Deidre's
barbershop, yeah, Deidre's the best. And yeah, outside of singing barbershop and suing insurance companies, we like to, Deidre and I like to play board games, board game enthusiasts, and
When's that convention?
no, we're
There's
not yet
definitely
at
a
that.
convention
We're
for
not
that.
there are conventions. Trust me.
Are there
We're not
lawyer
quite at that.
conventions? Like you'll.
Oh yeah, I'm going to
if a
conference.
barbershop and a lawyer, it'd be like the Sing and Sue. The
No,
Sing
there
and
are-
Sue convention. Like
There are insurance lawyer conventions. They call,
yeah.
they call them conferences, but I'm going to one in May. And
you guys just stand around and like.
Teach him some tax.
Teach them some tags.
What do you do? Yeah,
No,
what would
no.
be your equivalent of a tag at
Hey,
a?
you guys want to rip some briefs real quick?
Yeah, dude. You guys want to sue someone real quick? Let's all do it.
It would probably be like a panel that lets out, and then a bunch of people get into a discussion about whether the duty to defend is triggered by allegations of wrongdoing.
Boring.
This year,
tag.
this year, just do it all on a high beat.
No, Christian Hunter and I are actually in the same space. He works for Marsh McLennan, and we're going to go to the.
Awesome.
We're going to be at the same convention.
Well, that's cool.
And
There you go. Then you only have to teach 2 parts.
yeah, so. But yeah, and then I found, as I alluded to earlier, I found Barbershop late. I was 24, 25, something like that, and I had, as I said, I had burnt out, like played to death this CD of Gas House. I think it was like a collection of tracks from Gas House and Keepsake, actually. And,
It was a burn CD.
Yeah, it was a burn CD. And from back when we used to have CDRs and CDRWs and whatever, burns it out, and I was just playing. I just found it in my center console. And I was like, I wonder if I could do this. And like smartphones was around then. I was like, put it in Barbershop. Voices of Gotham came. So I just sort of stumbled in off the streets and discovered the society and what it was. And I was doing that, but getting into New York was sort of tough, so I stepped away for a bit, and then I
sang with Cohesion.
Yeah, I sang with Cohesion, my first quartet.
Nice.
I still fill in with them from time to time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're still singing.
Yeah, at local gigs. But yeah, and the Doug Brown from the Gotham chapter connected me to them, and then I found my way to these guys, and sort of went from there. So
first time I saw you was with Studio 4.
Yeah. Yeah, Studio 4 was my first time at International in 2018. Before that, I sang in a different quartet with Rich Gray from, we were called Bourbon Street 4. It was with Mike Pinto from Mayhem. Oh, yeah. And Dan Van Wettering from Wheelhouse.
Oh, cool.
That quartet went to District. Got 4th place to Da Capo, Gimme Four, and Press Repower.
Not in that order.
Sorry, Da Capo, Press Repower, Gimme Four.
Correct.
Oh, you guys were 3rd?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Studio 4 grew out of that, and then I stepped away as I was going into law school.
Nice.
It's a great disappointment from the barbershop world. Everyone was like,
I know.
This tenor. And then you
Seriously.
disappeared.
You're like, Pop Smoke, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
Gotta
but
take the bar.
I couldn't
Suppose that was
stay away.
important.
I couldn't stay away, and I was
Nobody really can.
By like halfway through law school, I was like eagerly looking. I did a couple of auditions and a couple things, and then when Christian Douglas, I think is his professional name, left First Take in its first iteration, I became
that's right.
a part of Second Take.
I lobbied hard for the name change, but they didn't go
Doesn't
for
roll
it.
off the tongue as
in
much.
in November of 2019, I auditioned.
Nice.
And yeah, here I am.
Yeah, it was shot.
I can't believe it was that long ago.
I know, right? It feels like it
I
was.
just got a 4-year memory from our first rehearsal.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Official rehearsal.
COVID kind of messes with the timelines.
It really
though.
does. It really does.
That
Because
first,
that was that many years ago, but how many contests like
right.
years ago?
That's
you know?
exactly right.
2 contests.
You guys have
cycles
only got-
in almost
It's
5
weird.
years.
It's like this weird time, like Twilight Zone time. This 2 years of like Thanos snap, where you know,
Exactly.
just kinda
Yeah,
like,
we all got snapped.
We all got
Yeah.
snapped for 2 years, and then it's wild.
And for you guys too, it was like Midtown 2019, it's revelation.
Yeah,
And then no one got to hear you at International.
that was tough, man. We had so much momentum, and we were like, driving ahead, and then COVID just went.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was cool though. I mean, we kept busy with content, and we put out a Halloween album that year, and did a bunch of music videos, and and then we did the Midtown Get Down Challenge, and it was a lot of fun. So we got to do some fun stuff during COVID. But, and we were talking about this the other day too. It's like, not that we would have won had we gone to compete in LA in 2020. Right? Was it LA?
Yes.
2020. Not that we would have won, but like if we had won, if we had just ridden that momentum and like somehow, we would have only gotten 2 years of contest cycle to get like exposure and fans and shows and stuff. And like, we were like, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that, COVID hit and kind of like derailed that part of our progress and forced us to do all these cool projects and make more videos and kind of established our identity even further. And then we got two more contests because Quorum whooped us all in 2022. So
We talk about a similar type of thing, not the winning thing, but we formed the 4 of us just like 2 months before COVID. I auditioned in November.
yeah.
They asked me to be in December. Our first rehearsal was in January. Got together in February and then done. And so, but First Take was on Jamulus, and then just on Zoom, like hanging out every Sunday night for the entirety of it.
Of COVID.
So we learned, So we learned our
had to
6
become
songs.
friends before.
Yep.
Exactly, that's what it was.
That's
It was like with the wives too, like built a family relationship, like a tight friendship relationship between the 4 of us before we even started the emotional roller coaster and the stress of the contest cycle, because that's really when as I think everybody knows, you guys have been friends the whole time, but even in your friendship,
we've been functional the whole time.
But like, there's a big difference between showing up to 3 guys, showing up and getting together with 3 guys or people and singing for a couple of hours and then going home and going through that ringer that is the international contest, and your stress level gets high, your anxiety gets high, and how you interact with the people that you're singing with.
You learn a lot about those relationships in a contest setting.
And so having a strong foundation, we've talked a little bit about the same type of blessing in disguise. That was what triggered it, right? The blessing in disguise element of that is that by the time we went to Charlotte, we were basically best friends already. And so, all the trust and the managing emotion and stress and anxiety, right? All of that was in place already, so that that contest turned out to be a big, like, oh my God, amazing experience for us. But even if it hadn't been, right, if we'd come in 10th or something, or 12th, we would have been fine, because we had a lot of sort of pre-existing relationship.
Well, and I honestly, I kind of recommend that to any quartet that's really wanting to like do the contest, like attempt, like really go for it. Because we did the same thing. We started in March of 2018, and we could have tried to qualify and go for our first international in 2018, and we would have maybe scored, in the low 80s and done okay and had fun, and it would have been great. But we said we want to wait a whole contest cycle and just focus on us and get to know each other and build that family dynamic between all our families and the relationships, and establish our identity as a quartet, learn each other's voices, like learn all that stuff. And we did that for a year and a half before we even went to qualify for the first time. And dude, we attribute so much of what we've been able to do to that, to just being patient and not just diving into contest. And it's paid dividends, in the long run. It's been
a lot of people watch that model, and we're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I've seen groups emulate that, and that path made a lot of sense. And
there's also something to, like, if it's just for fun, if everybody's just like, hey, you guys want to do this? Oh, let's go compete, and just go and do it and have fun. But like, and everybody's different. Everybody has different goals and stuff. But we also knew that, like, our goal was not just to compete. We wanted to do content and videos and all that kind of stuff. So like your guys' quartet, you took the time to really establish, your relationships and your friendships. You guys took 15 years to establish your friendships and relationships, and
very established.
You can say that again.
And there's been so much praise to Gimme Four, and we've just given you guys so many compliments, talked about how amazing you are, how wonderful you are, and how much you've contributed. I think it's time.
I know where this is going.
I think it's time we bring you back down to earth with some main events. So this is the part of the show where we go into the main events, where we watch some failures of our guests, and I think we've got a good one. I think it's a pretty good one. And we're going to watch this video of Gimme Four. What was this for? What was
we were promoting our second album. It was just a little over a year ago. We were doing a live.
Wait, we're doing mine first?
No, not this one. Sorry. David is is our producer. He's in the back pulling up these videos. It's the nope, not this one. It should be the one that says the middle one. Good morning, Gimme Four.
Ah, that one. Got it.
Yes. Wait, hold on, stop. This isn't the one.
This one's pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
this isn't a main event.
Hold on, we're going to do it again. Just keep rolling with this one. Yeah, well, let's watch that one first. We'll do that one first. All right, here we go.
High success.
Yes.
This is good. Rent free.
It's a welcome. Good morning to you. I say good morning. Say good morning. Good morning, Giants. just catch a glimpse of that sunshine. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day this morning. What a morning. Oh, this glorious morning. Let the day arrive. It's great to be alive. You'd think that I'd be dragging. We spent the whole night tagging. But don't you know I feel just fine. It's a good, 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 good morning. I'm feeling fine, feeling fine, mighty fine, just fine.
So good.
So fine.
So it's not a fail,
That
but
wasn't a fail.
I do have a funny
That was a good
tidbit
one.
about that and that video in particular on that channel.
exactly
So
what
Jason
you're
Feeler,
gonna
it's great. He makes great content and he puts the sheet music
Oh,
up
yeah,
there, which
dude.
engages people in
He
a different
gets so many
way.
more views than the VHS.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But somebody commented on it. They were like, "Wow, they're so in tune, right in C sharp." And like that transcription there is Jason's. It's not like from any actual existing sheet music that we use. It's supposed to be in D at the end. So someone commented on our intonation. And we're like, "Yeah, about that."
From where it started, it was in tune.
Yeah, it
dude.
was very harmonically in
Relative
tune.
to where you were. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I didn't send you any successes. I only sent you failures of me.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But this is the David. I'm emailing it to you right now, brother. This is the one that I wanted to do. That was the success one. That
Yeah.
was to bring you up after I brought you down.
Is this the live
But,
stream?
this is the live
Yeah.
stream.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Yay, good.
We should preface
Yeah.
this one by saying, "Gimme Four" demands a lot out of the baritone slot because
Oh, yeah.
I am a
Don't we
much
all?
higher bass than usual, and Dave sings pretty darn high as well. And so Joey kind of being the glue in between those two parts puts a lot of demand on the
Oh, yeah.
baritone slot. So
And I think we're starting. Let's see. I think you said we're gonna start
It's
at
probably
11:15. Started at 11:15.
I also remember saying, you know what, we'll
Yeah,
just watch
right
it
about
first. Whatever.
Well, Alex, you look really different in this video.
Yeah. I'm
the fail is actually the camera quality.
Well, I'm just rolling along and singing a song. I'm on top of the world, ready to fall, rolling along. Happy song, time singing a happy song. What a song! Sitting on top
The eye roll at the beginning.
out, and there's nothing that
So
can
much
go
silence.
wrong. Rolling along and just singing a song.
well,
My favorite part about that video is not the crack, because everybody cracks. We all crack. It happens to us all.
I'm glad
But
you're
it's-
enjoying this so much.
Oh, we're loving it, bro. But what my favorite part is the fact that you just kind of like went silent for like 10 seconds. You're like, silent. And then you're like, all right, here we go again.
You know, in my mind, I actually remember thinking when I cracked out the first time, I was like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to stall until we're at a place where I know I can at least finish it. I'll come back in when they're at a spot where I can ring the last chord.
right.
And then I didn't. And then I didn't.
And I didn't. And that was that.
I remember saying to the guys when we were doing this, I was like, my voice is not in good shape anymore after this rehearsal. I don't think we should do this.
Yeah, we had rehearsed all day.
And there's a big emphasis on showtime, go time. Like we're gonna, you know what, go time, Joey will take care of this. It'll be fine. You know,
and like 99.9% of the time
oh
he does.
boy,
Yep.
go
usually at the end of like a rough moment, if I have to get up on stage and do something, I'll do like my Jim Carrey, the mask, and turn around and showtime.
Yeah, dude. Well, here's the thing. At International, you were sick, right?
Yeah. Well, I got food.
You got food
I got
Well, you got
food
food
poisoning.
poisoning, right?
Yeah.
Before
Dude,
the
and
semis.
Tim told us that. Tim was like, "Yeah, dude, Joey's feeling sick." We were all backstage watching, And you went out there and slaughtered it.
Can I be
Really
gross?
Yeah,
Can I be
of
gross?
course.
So like we went to the restaurant owned by a rather famous Walking Dead actor who I won't slander
doesn't watch
on the
this.
Okay, yes.
on the podcast, but I got the same thing. I had a chicken pot pie, and it was the same thing that David and his wife Heather had, and they were like, that is one of the greatest chicken pot pies I've ever had in my entire life. And I was like, really?
Tastes a little off.
Mine tasted a little funny. And they were like, well, what do you mean it tasted a little funny? I was like, did yours taste like mustardy? And they were like,
oh my god.
and they were like, no. And I was like, well, surely that won't come back to bite me.
Yeah.
And then like within 20 minutes, I'm in we're in the arena watching more of the contest, and I'm like in my chair like this.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
Uh-oh, we're having a problem.
So we have a problem. We're going to.
So we went back to the hotel, and I actually got on a phone call with Mike Duca, who's one of our good friends. He's in East Coast Sound, and he's like an EMS. He's
EMT.
EMT. He's EMT, and I was like, my dude, we're at a crossroads here. What do I do? And he's like, well, how long ago did you eat it? And I told him. He goes, you have to decide right now whether you're gonna like
Purge it
or ride this wave. And he's like, well, all right. And I was like, what do I do? He goes, what is your body telling you to do? I was like, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
and that was it. And I was because I was like so
man.
afraid that I was gonna get sick and then like tear up my voice, but I was also afraid that I was gonna like legitimately be sidelined for like days, because sometimes when you get food poisoning, it'd be
food
like
poisoning is
That was before
One
we
time,
got the
yeah.
draw for the semis, I think. So then we're like watching the draw for the semis, like, please, as late as possible, as possible.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty late, right? I think we were 19th.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't remember.
But yeah, and so we're like, okay. And so we had
Right.
the whole day to kind of get ready, and as the day went on, you were feeling better and better, and then it was like you stepped on stage and like,
Dude, you
nothing
crushed
happened.
it.
It was
You sounded so
appreciate
good.
it.
And then we
crazy.
were all in the audience. We were like, man, Joe needs to get sick more often because he is just.
You
slaying
legitimately
this.
can't tell if you watch the video and you
No.
don't know the story. You legitimately
Yeah, you
can't
can't tell at all. Well, same thing at Midwinter. Just this last Midwinter. They were like, yeah, Joey's not feeling well. I was like, oh, okay. And then you get up there and you crush it again. And we're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's faking it every time. Because
you're very kind.
it's
You're
just
very
true,
kind.
dude. You sounded great, man.
Oh man, I might have disguised it, but I was.
That's what we do, baby.
I'm still, man. You get it. I'm not.
I get it.
I gotta. You're the high loud guy too, and sometimes like, I mean, are you gonna show up and just not? Like, what are you gonna just not do
Gotta
it?
do it, man.
And Alex too. I mean, like, you just sometimes
Give
you
the
just
people
have
what
to,
they
like,
want.
Yep.
Sometimes you just have to fail.
That's it, baby.
True will.
Sometimes
Fail for
That's
expectations.
it, babe.
You know, and we have small
Do it.
kids now, and
I'm good.
like,
Dude, those are good, bro.
So good. Oh my god.
My wife does a mean cupcake, bro.
I'm ready.
I can't
And
wait.
it's kind of rude not to eat them because she made them for you guys. So I'm just saying.
Oh right, we have to sing.
I'm
If you guys could
Absolutely.
eat those
Forgot
cupcakes
about that.
before you go sing, that would be
Absolutely.
great. Because I need some more main
you just
events.
need more
in my
fail
life.
content.
Oh,
I need
you're-
more main events. in
You're
my
gonna
life.
get one. You're gonna get one. Don't worry.
Hey, David, I just emailed you another link.
Yeah, I sent a success and also a failure.
Okay, which is which?
The success I emailed you. Below the below one. Sorry. The top one. Yeah, around.
The one that says
Okay,
success.
skip that one. We don't want to see successes just yet.
Start with the failure.
What's the one that you texted me?
Yeah, the 712. So
Okay.
I'll give you
cool. You got
just
them
the
both.
tiniest preface. The tiniest preface.
So
if
I went to
you'll
this
allow.
restaurant
No.
owned by-
There was this chicken pot pie and some mustard.
As Joey said,
And-
I've been doing a lot of high loud stuff in First Steak, and the first 8 or 9 months of the quartet, I had not figured it out. Like, I was real, like, full bore blasting all the time, and that resulted in 2 moments. One that was very successful and became a meme and and one that did not go so well. So
Beautiful.
This is the not
Can't
so
wait.
well one, right?
this was prelims,
What year?
2022, before Charlotte.
Okay. I don't know why you look so young.
Long hair. for the beast.
will be the day I will find my way to
I mean, listen.
I was so flat on that B flat, and then the top one I go,
It was still pretty good, though.
The subtle flex of that being his fail.
No, the humble brag. He's like, watch this fail,
Yeah,
guys.
oh God, it's so terrible.
Roll the tape.
Also, Tony
I can't even look.
Tony annihilated that
The
post.
other three guys were
Awesome
just
post.
on. They crushed it. I rode the wave until the thing, but I just went
Story of my life.
a little too much.
No, dude. Listen, I gotta say too, when Christian left First Take in the first iteration, he was awesome. Of course, it was great. I had a hard time watching Tony on baritone. It's like watching a Ferrari drive Uber. It's like he is one of the greatest leads. His voice is so incredible, and I just love him on lead. So watching him on baritone, and he crushed baritone as well. But I just missed him on lead so much. So when that happened, as much as I loved Christian, he was amazing, incredible. I was so stoked that Tony got back on lead.
Me too. I'm glad that they shuffled things around for me.
Dude.
Yeah, you
would
wouldn't
have
be.
gotten the Corson experience,
That's right.
man.
Well, with somebody else. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they even auditioned to lead. They tried a baritone, and then they tried me, and I think they might have tried one other. But yeah, Tony was heading back to lead real quick.
Yeah.
And
Which is good. I mean,
We're all better for it.
We're all better for that. Exactly. Awesome. All right. What is this?
it's just the Charlotte thing.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Cool.
The
cool.
the meme. Probably people watching the show have seen it, but if you go to like 350 or so, the
Shh, lady.
the advertisement is not part of it.
Again, you look very different there, Alex.
Yeah, very different. No, you got it. Yeah, if you head to like
Checking the
350.
timestamp, I think.
Beautiful. Here we go.
Now that I know that nothing's gonna harm.
I love this tag.
Me too.
Now that I'm around, no demon will be found while I'm around. I will not stand down
Alex.
It was pretty like it was kind of nuts because I
man.
hadn't really done anything like that at all
Yeah.
on in Barbershop, and so it was like a really big.
Oh,
Like
bro.
big moment
Yeah.
for me personally. I'm sure Tony's gonna come on to the show and like give you like the best like first take as a unit and be very
yeah, yeah.
selfless. But you said personal successes and failures. So
Yeah, dude.
that was just like defining Barbershop moment for me. We were a little high and I
Yeah.
was like a little nervous, but
That's
just sort of
awesome.
let it fly. I've since like really reined in the way that I'm approaching it and not just like
Sure.
like every time, both for me and for the unit. But yeah, it was like just sort of this surreal moment because going into that contest, I thought Santa Fe or like Best Things or something. I thought some of the one other thing was going to be like the moment. I was like, oh, this is just this tag or whatever. It was supposed to be a little lower than that. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do the thing and people will think it's cool, but I didn't expect it to be like a meme and like,
Right,
clipped
right.
and like whatever. But I remember not realizing that we were flat, just like totally locked in the zone. And then I was like, on the last one. And then, but it was
That's awesome,
it was
dude.
sort of nuts. So.
Also, Tony annihilated that post too. So
He
just
annihilated-
seeing a theme
dude.
here. Seeing a theme here.
Seriously, man. Tony always
There
annihilates
is.
the posts.
I can think of two barbershop moments where the entire audience went, oh, because they knew it was about to go up somewhere. They're not used to hearing it go up. And one of them is The Crush doing Day by Day.
Oh, yeah.
When Josh Rosemeyer did
It's a B natural, right?
He goes, day. You're like, oh, that can only go one place from here.
Day by day.
Right,
It's not doing
that
that.
was not going to happen, and everyone knew that wasn't going to happen. That was one of them, and the other one was when he fooled the penultimate on that. Everyone went,
yeah, dude.
that can only go one place.
He better not flip the falsetto on that last note. Don't you do it.
You guys
Don't
should do
you
a comedy
it.
piece where you don't.
That's hilarious, dude. Yeah. It's the rule of the tenor in the 10 Commandments of
Thou shalt not.
shall not full voice the 2 if you don't full voice the 3.
Well, I don't ever.
Yeah.
Sometimes to my detriment, but
Dude, I did that last night at the Afterglow. One of the kids came up and wanted to sing "Smile" with us, the tag, and it was pitched at I think we sang it in like F sharp. So, and I did the wild darn yes,
Yeah.
and I did the flip or whatever, and I full voiced the 2, and I very quickly realized it was a mistake.
Well,
I was already at the top, and I was like, that spot, like I had to, I felt like such a loser. Oh, champs deliver.
and then you went, I was gonna say, and then you went home and polished your metal, and,
myself to sleep.
and everything was fine.
I wiped my tears. It was great, but, awesome. Well, hey, I want to hear you guys sing. And since
Eat more
David's not
cupcakes.
here, we're going to have to settle
Oh.
for the
do my
Corson.
best.
Yes. Before we do, what is everybody drinking?
Oh,
coffee.
coffee.
I got Diet Caffeine-Free
From
Pepsi
this-
in mine.
from this
Where
one.
do
In
I-
these
where do I present it?
gorgeous mugs. We can hold them up to all the cameras. Yes. These mugs were brought to you by CustomQuartetStuff.com. Heather Cryer is amazing. Her stuff is incredible. When Midtown went to, I think it was Ireland our first time, she sent us a bunch of free stuff from her store, like passport covers and keychains, and like she does everything. So anyway, cannot recommend her enough. And you guys get to take these mugs home.
What?
As a little
Thank you.
gift.
Well, thank you.
Just a little press. So say thank you to her. Go to
Thank you, Heather.
CustomQuartetStuff.com. She does custom things, obviously. So if your quartet wants some cool merchandise or some cool swag, she whips it together very quickly and sends it out very fast. So she's amazing.
We were actually just talking about that because, the CD thing. Who has a CD player anymore? So
right.
we gotta come up
Gotta
with
find
something
other
new,
ways
right?
to-
There's
We
stuff
have
to sell. Yeah,
hundreds of CDs. that
Did
we
you
don't
see
know
our
how to
Did
do
you
it.
see our merch table at Midwinter? We went a little too hard.
I saw it, man.
We went a
The
little
lighting
too
and
hard
the
for
whole thing.
Midwinter,
Hey, this is
dude.
the year to do it.
Yeah, we ended up having pins and posters and CDs and then T-shirts and then sweaters and hoodies and like it was ridiculous, but it was literally cool though. We sold a lot of merch. It was great.
awesome.
But yeah.
Did
it's,
you guys see? I don't know if you found out about it. I guess you had to at some point, unless
Oh,
they
yes.
took it off
No.
afterward. Mostly joking.
We let it roll.
You did,
bro. Oh,
mostly
yeah.
joking. Took one of the price stickers and put it on the trophy, the champ trophy.
Well, no, in addition to that, somebody put a whole sheet out and put like a bid.
Oh,
so
that's
people
right.
started
Yeah,
writing
yeah,
bids for the trophy, and it started off. Somebody put $23 $20.23.
Yeah.
And then people started bidding absurd numbers. Then it went
$1,938.
It got up to some crazy number, but it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. So it was a good midwinter. It was fun.
It was great.
Yeah.
Great convention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love having it in our backyard.
Oh man, that was so
Come
nice.
back to New York, please.
Midtown. It was great. That'll never happen. Couldn't
You
write
guys
a
were
couldn't write a
everywhere,
script.
Exactly.
man.
Yeah.
You were doing everything that
crazy.
weekend on
Yeah,
the
man.
Facebooks.
It was so much
Champs
fun.
deliver for sure. Like no meme.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys are awesome champs.
Thanks.
Couldn't
man.
agree
Sure.
more. Yeah.
Appreciate
Couldn't agree
it.
more.
Let's hear you guys sing.
Let's
You
do
guys
it.
got something you can whip out for us? You're going to step into our. This is your first time at my place.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
For
awesome.
all 4 of you?
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm stoked you guys are here. But yeah, this is. I'm glad you guys got to come and see the setup. And I'm always excited when I get good quartets in here and I get to hear you guys and record y'all. So.
And Alex has actually filled in
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
on
dude.
multiple
Many
parts in
times,
this. You're a quartet for long enough, you're going to have some
Alex-
last minute emergencies.
3
and
out of
Alex,
4.
Alex
baby.
is one of only 2 people who has filled in on at least 3 parts with Gimme Four.
True.
Really? 3 parts?
We keep a spreadsheet, and by we I mean I keep a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. Yeah.
I've not done bass.
Yeah. Don't think that'll be happening anytime soon. As high as I do sing for a bass.
Well, Alex has subbed in with Midtown
That's
2 or 3
right.
times. So, yeah, dude, he's just a stud. Everybody just needs to get a little
willing to
Alex in their life. So.
Did we have a name for it? Was it the Gimme Four?
Yes, it's the Gimme Four replacement chorus is the name, but Gimme Four is better.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then
and with him, it's Gimme Corson.
Alex also quoted, there's a version of that where him, Tim Warwick, who were the other two, Brian Mastrel, and who was the last one? Ethan Wolf. The four of them together were Gimme Zero.
Oh, because they're all four subs.
We sang a song in the lobby of some Parkside show,
show,
Afterglow, and we called ourselves Gimme Zero.
Nice.
People sort of gathered.
And great segue, that song that they sang is the one we're about to sing for you right now.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right, you guys, you ready to roll?
Let's do it. Yes, sir.
Ready.
All right, give me a glorious main event. Here we go.
1, 2, 3. Yeah,
Rhythm is our business.
Rhythm is what we.
Rhythm is our business.
Business sure is swell. Now when you feel blue, it's rhythm you need. If you got rhythm,
You're sure to succeed. Rhythm is our business.
Business sure is swell. He sings lead, he sings the lead. In the band, Dave sings lead.
I'm not Dave
In the band. 'Cause when we sing our ringing tune, Dave is the one you're hearing croon.
Deep-ha, deep-ha, dwee-da-da, da-ba-da-da-da-da.
Nice job, Dave.
He sings baritone in the band.
In the band, Joe sings baritone in the band. When the melody soars and the harmony sound, Joe sings the part that moves around. Ba 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 da ba 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 da 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 da. We got a bass man in the band. Will's our bass man in the band. He's the man. My walking lines are hard to beat. You can't have rhythm without me. There's a tenor man in the band. The band Paul is our tenor man in the band. The band. Now he's the guy who hits 'em high, makes you think he's in the sky. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. Rhythm is our business, our business. Rhythm brings business to.
Ba-doo, ba-doo.
Do ba da doot, yeah. All right.
Yes, sir. Gimme Corson. All right, we're back with Gimme Corson, and they are annihilating these cupcakes.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel actually about you coming right back in with me a mouthful of cupcakes.
Yeah, hey, listen, dude, it is what it is, man.
I'm
This is
already the
real
Quartet
life.
fat guy. It's not like it's very uncool of you, KJ.
Hey, listen, from one to the other, it's I'm with you, brother.
These
They're
are good cupcakes,
though,
they're
right?
real good.
Oh, so
Yeah,
good.
dude, she crushes them.
Yep.
Dude, you guys sounded awesome, man. Thanks
Thank you.
for singing.
It's all Alex.
That's right. Gimme Corson, baby. No, it's I'm really excited about these booths.
Yeah, man.
It's been real fun. Midtown's recorded our whole album in these things. It's a unique way to be able to record.
That was definitely super special. The way that you have this set up, so that way you can see each other and react to like the subtle cues. You know, for I don't know, for the people that may have no idea what it looks like. You know, the people listening, it's you have a professional quality studio like space to record yourself and sing, but like there's like the windows cut in and you can react to all the other 3 singers. That's super cool. We've done it a couple of times. Will, you want to talk about how like we
that's kind of why I did that, because it's like the best way that we like singing as quartets is what? In a square, right? We love just singing into each other and looking at each other and feeding off each other's energy, and you can hear each other really well. And I was just trying to recreate that
while still having some isolation,
while having full isolation, and
that's the challenge,
and having like your own mix so you can adjust exactly what you want to hear. So,
yeah, that's super cool.
Thanks, man.
With our albums, we did one in a studio, and we were in a room slightly bigger than this one, and we were in all 4 corners because we still wanted to be able to see each other, but we wanted to get as much isolation as possible. And basically the same for the second one, although it was actually not even a studio. We were just in like a rehearsal room, and
the carpeting helped with the
but still it was like 4 corners of the room, so like we had that visual, but we didn't have the intimacy of what that gives you while still maintaining the isolation.
Also, Paul had this we call like the Darth Vader helmet,
right. So that the tenor part didn't bleed.
This big like wrap around his entire.
So he's talking about how great it was to see each other in the 4 corners.
It was great not to see Paul.
I couldn't see anything.
You had nothing.
I'm gonna have a cupcake.
Yeah. It certainly saves time on the model where you like record a scratch track and then you're like singing to you based on pumping the scratch track into your ear and singing one part at a time against that, which is what we did for like a handful of tracks we did.
Well, our whole first album we multi-tracked. You know, we did it all here, but we did it one at a time. So Anthony would lay his lead part. We would produce him as he went and got the lead part fine. And then Christian would step in, do his bass part against the Anthony. And then me and Nick would take turns kind of laying in our baritone and tenor part. And it's cool and it's good. And you can get as many takes as you want on each line. And it's fun. But there's always, the energy is different when you're multi-tracking something versus when you sing it live.
For sure, yeah.
So that was kind of my idea for this. I had this design like 10 years ago.
Cool.
And always wanted to build it. And then for this next album, I was like, we finally talked about it. I was like, let's do it. So Nick came up for like 3 days and we just built these prototypes. These are the Mark I's of these booths. And so we got, I think we have 1 or 2 more songs to do for the album.
Awesome.
And,
Can't wait to hear
but
that.
just
Now,
the
I will
energy
say,
you get, like being able to look into someone's eyes and see the cues and stuff.
Of all the people,
wait, hold on a second.
in
Is that a
Midtown,
white chocolate garnish?
It is a white chocolate
great.
garnish.
That's all I needed to know.
Of all the people in Midtown, I would have expected Nick as the least likely to be constructing things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's such a pretty boy.
Yeah. I mean, you all are. But...
we are? Thank you. Okay, great. No, he was just the closest. So he was the only one who could drive up to help me. Because it was a ton of work.
I bet.
It took a long time. Well, and because I had the design in my head, but like I made it up as I went along. So that the big booth that the baritone stands in is like twice as big as the other ones, because when I built it I was like, I had the dimensions in my head, and then we built it and brought it in here and I was like, oh my gosh, it's huge. It's really big. So I was like, the other 3 don't need to be this big. So kind of shrunk the dimensions. I angled it in a little tighter, and it's like, I think it's the right size. So for my Mark II versions that I build, I'm going to use some different materials, a little lighter materials, and they'll all be kind of that dimension. And I think the good thing about these 2 is they're all modular. So you can break them apart. Everything comes apart. The doors lift off. They're all on hinges. And I can tuck it away and store it if I need the space, So it's cool. But
KJ,
it's really cool to get you guys in there, man.
The whole thing reminds me of your idea, Joey, from, what was it, 2019 or 2020?
It was during COVID. I did the same thing. I built a prototype, like a soundproof booth in my living room, and my wife was like, all right, great. What do we do with it?
Yeah, dude.
So I built it out of like PVC and this heavy canvas and I had started to build it. It's actually still in my storage unit.
Nice. Yeah, dude. Yeah, my wife said the same thing. When I brought it in, she was like, hey, what's this? Like, is this going to be up forever? Or that's why I had to make it modular. I was like, I couldn't just build some permanent,
Right.
But thankfully I have this space and I can kind of leave them there and I don't really have to do much. So, but But it's really cool for me to get to hear a good quartet in there, like cranking away. So
let us know when you get one on.
I can't wait for that to happen. It's going to be great. So one thing we haven't talked about, because you guys are big jerks, is David Amaretta.
Well, I mean, listen, he didn't come, so who's really the jerk?
That's right. I offered to bring him up, but no, it's what can you guys tell me about David, your lead?
Dave has been my best friend for way longer than this quartet existed.
Oh, wow.
We actually did go to the same elementary school, so we've known each other since kindergarten. We didn't really start becoming friends until 6th grade. And we have done many different creative things together, including homemade movies from 6th grade. Which now, if you really wanted some main,
there's your main
if
events.
you really wanted some main events, you could see our parody of Crocodile Hunter, where Dave tracks his cat around his house in
Amazing.
pre-pubescent voice. But yeah, I mean,
Love
Dave's
that.
amazing. Dave is such
He's a
an
stud,
amazing
man.
singer and performer, and his voice, like you line up 10 barbershop leads, you'd be able to pick Dave out instantly.
Yeah.
And so much of his sound has informed what repertoire works for the quartet, obviously, like any lead, but and B, like the way that we sing, and he's also the quartet dad. he has always been the responsible one, the one that keeps us on track and keeps us organized, and
Dave is like
the
crazy
treasurer
disciplined.
and,
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, in our quartet, you would think I'm the dad because I'm the oldest, but no. Anthony
would have been
Anthony
my
is
guess.
he's the youngest,
The voice
but
of
he's
reason.
also like, he is beep boop type 8, calculating. He's just constantly thinking about, like, he puts together our calendars and like every detail is in there. It's so helpful.
So we're
We'd
really
be lost without that guy, dude.
we're really lucky in that Dave is that way, but so is Paul. Paul is
Yeah.
is exceptionally detail oriented. So like
Nice.
Will and I are very lucky. Will has great redeeming qualities too. So,
But Joey,
but no, I just like make high and loud happen when it works.
There you go. Yes.
I do think Dave and I are similar in that way, but he was the quartet dad because when we started, I was a child.
Literal
Oh
child.
yeah.
True.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll give you all a single guess, and it
Oh.
should not take you more than 4 seconds as to who's the quartet dad.
He sings lead in the band.
Nope.
No.
I don't think so. No.
Wait,
no.
really, Drew?
Nope.
You?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
I was like, man, this will be easy. They know
The one without 15 children is the one who's the dad of the quartet.
They know me so well; they'll get this right away.
Yeah, no, they're like,
Tony?
Drew? Oh, Andrew.
it's got to be Andrew. Oh,
They're
wait,
chasing
what?
around a billion kids and a million things.
Yeah.
So I'm the logistics guy, but from an artistic vision perspective, I defer.
That's where I I for some reason, and it's only in the last couple of years, like I lose things all the time. I keep leaving stuff, like
Walk into
I
rooms,
leave
forget
stuff
why you're
all over the
there.
place. Yeah, I forget things. I'm constantly like, hey, where did I put that thing? And blah blah blah. So I cannot be the organized, person. But I think big. And
Yeah, there you go.
I play in the sandbox, and
There's
that's how I can
You
contribute.
got to have
so.
that.
There's a whole quartet lore about where is Will's water bottle.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the one in the quartet who's never had like an official water bottle because I lose every water bottle I have, even plastic ones. I lose them.
Yeah.
I suck.
Like I've said this now, and I think his water bottle is on.
I'm now
your
thinking
kitchen
about
table.
where it is because I don't know.
There's a
understand
good
you, brother.
There's a good chance that we will leave here and it will become your water bottle.
Yes,
For him to
Great.
lose.
For me to lose,
Yeah.
then I'll lose it.
Will also
love
lost
it.
a tablet once on a quartet trip.
That is true. That is true.
Well, hey, I want us to watch a video together, and this is a special video from one of the AIC archives. It's on the AIC YouTube channel, actually.
Is it publicly available? So,
It is
it's on
publicly
YouTube.
available.
Okay, so
It
I've
is-
seen
this
it.
one
then.
is,
So
yes.
I've definitely seen it already.
Yeah. You probably have,
I
yes.
guarantee you that I have.
Yeah. Well, and we do plan on actually releasing a lot of unseen content.
Please do
Yeah,
that.
We will.
Please
AIC
do that.
we're working together. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited. But this one's already on the YouTube channel, but it surprisingly didn't get as much traction as I had thought it would. So I figured it'd be good to kind of bring
can
more
I
attention
guess?
to it. Sure.
Can I guess? This is an AIC video
Yes.
that didn't garner too much attention. Somewhat recent.
No, not recent.
Happiness Emporium.
No, I do have that one. Actually, that is one of the ones. That absolutely is one of the ones because I have two pulled up, David. But I don't know if we're gonna have time to watch that one.
Gotcha.
But the one we're gonna watch
because that one's criminally underrated. That's why I bring it up.
100%. That's
Criminally
why
underrated.
I did pick that one for that very reason because it has so low clicks compared to what it should have. I 100% agree. But no, the one I want to watch is the bottom one. The Keepsake. So this is Brandon and Chad Guyton. Talking about one of their experiences when they were kids, when they first got to see Keepsake perform. And anyway, they explain everything. So I want us to watch that together, and
that'd be great.
We can talk, we can react as it's going. Doesn't matter. So here we go.
Hey everybody, Chad Guyton and Brandon Guyton here. We're excited to share with you a really rare video performance today, but before we did, we wanted to share a really cool backstory about where this video comes from.
In 1993, I believe, the guy walked into our high school choir program and pushed in a VHS cassette, and it was Barbershop, and our choir teacher gave him the whole class, blew us away, immediately hooked, skipped classes, singing tags all day, and at the end of the day, he said, hey, there's a quartet that's coming to Huntsville, Alabama, right, in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to buy tickets for you and all of your friends to go to this show.
Yeah, and little did we know that when we walked in that we were going to have something that would change the rest of our lives. We were seated there, and out comes this quartet called Keepsake. And they sang When the Saints Go Marching In, and we were on our feet screaming. It was the craziest thing we had ever seen. Shorts. And so as soon as the show was over, we go out to the lobby, and we were scared to even approach, but...
So as soon as they saw us, and we went up, I think we bought a CD, and there was three of us. We actually had formed a high school quartet, and I had my then future wife with us as well, and some of our girlfriends were there. And so we had this little crowd. Sorry, Laura. But you won in the end, so it all worked out. But so we were there, and they said, well, are you a quartet? And we said, well, we are, but our bass couldn't make the trip. And Don, I'll never forget these words. He said, well, what am I? Chopped liver? And we were just like,
I love Don Barnick,
dude. The only song we knew at the time was What a Wonderful World. And we said, well, we only know this one song. It's What a Wonderful World. I don't know if you know it. And Don sort of smiled and said, yeah, I do.
Yes, Don Barnick knows every song and tag ever written. And so what you're about to see is something that I think maybe 7 people in the world have ever seen. And this is not even the best video. This is a clip of me and Brandon. Brandon was singing tenor then, with our high school baritone Gabe and Don Barnick singing What a Wonderful World. And as you can tell, we had a lot to learn.
We had a lot to learn.
What a wonderful world. Wonderful.
Look at Chad's face. I love that.
So as you can see, it was pretty rough, but it was a life-changing experience for us. And everybody in the lobby was watching. They all went crazy. And man, just what a feeling, and what a powerful moment to see how warm and kind they were to these kids.
Came over and were like
hugging
out.
us, and Tony was hugging us, and it was just like this greatest moment. So unfortunately, we had to get back home. It's about 3 hours away, and we were still in high school, and we had curfews. So we walked out of the front of the auditorium there, just absolutely floating on cloud 9, and then...
So we were standing there, and most of the people had already left, and just by complete luck, we were walking to our cars, and here comes Keepsake out the side, and they had their luggage, and they had packed up their stuff, and they were getting ready to go to the Afterglow. And of course, Joe was like, you guys gotta come to the Glow, you gotta come to the Glow. And of course, we said, we can't, we have a curfew. And he said, well, would it be okay then if you guys listen to us sing one of our new songs that we're gonna sing on the Afterglow? And of course...
Can you imagine?
Out. I mean,
Can you imagine?
Please. So they then blew the pitch, and they sang this. Now, we have not even seen this video since we were in high school. We used to walk around with a camcorder recording everything, and as Chad's been doing some remodeling, he's been going through his tapes, and as the AIC has been looking for new archival footage, he went and found this performance that's not been seen in over 20 years.
So yeah, we just had this little camcorder, so please forgive the audio and video quality. This was, 25, 30 years
Forgiven.
ago. But I'll never forget, as soon as it was over, we were, of course, freaking out that they would take the time to sing this. But Joe Connolly came over to us and said, "Are you guys a part of a local chapter? Are you Barbershop members?" We didn't even know that was a thing. And
we said, "No, we're not." And he said, "Well, whatever you do, go home and join the local chorus," which for us was the Chattanooga Choo Choo Chorus. And we learned about the Man of Note program. You got to put someone that says who's responsible for getting you into Barbershop. Now, the actual person who really was responsible was Ron Weaver. But that moment was so pivotal for us. Ron said, "You know what you need to do." So I was singing tenor at the time. So Roger Ross has my Man of Note.
and Joe Connolly has my Man of Note, and Keepsake single-handedly is responsible for getting us in the Barbershop. I apologize.
That's so cool.
Brandon they're responsible for that too. But we are really excited to debut for you now. Never before seen footage, and I am thrilled for you to get to experience what we got to experience that night in Huntsville, Alabama.
Don't you hear the trombone moan and just listen to the saxophone. Just hear the clarinet and flute, cornet and jazzing with the mute. I just want to throw my cares away when I hear them playing now. Oh, that weeping melancholy strain, oh gee, but it's either to the brain. Just want
I forgot
to
how
get
fast they
right
do
up
this.
and dance. I don't care about any chance. No other blues I care to choose but the Royal Garden Blues. And there is no use talking, no use walking, start dog walking no matter where. There's syncopation, blues, modulation, just like a Haitian, you rip and tear. Most everybody likes the blues. They love them blues. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here's my raving, here's my raving. It's blues you craving. Come on down. Come on, play now.
Somebody just leaving the show with their stuff.
Jazz me round, because your feet they can't refuse. They just can't refuse it. Hear that strain and listen to that refrain. Now it's driving me insane. Can't keep still. Though it's against my will. Well, it's a brand new blues. The Royal Garden Blues, Garden Blues. Well, everybody grab somebody and start jazzing around. Oh, don't you hear the trombone moan, wah, wah. Listen to the saxophone, just hear that clarinet and flute, cornet jazzing with a mute. I just want to throw my cares away when they play pop do what I let. We've been melancholy strain, oh gee, but it's to my brain. Just wanna get right up and dance. I don't care, I'll take most any chance. There's no other blues I care to choose. What's the Royal Garden, Royal Garden.
The singing is just disgusting.
That's after singing an entire show.
Yeah,
just in the parking lot for a couple
Yeah.
kids.
But isn't that crazy? Like,
It's an amazing story.
Keepsake's the quartet that got me into Barbershop too. They're the ones. They're the first quartet I ever heard, and I had the same reaction to hearing them for the first time. I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
just
gosh, I want to do that.
Absolute jaw dropping.
But isn't it cool? Like guys like Chad and Brandon,
Yeah.
who have obviously gone on to have such incredible waves in their own right.
We
It's
view
just
them
like-
as legends, but they always
view
view
them-
them.
yeah, right.
And before them, Keepsake viewed it like, and that's what it's all
That's what it's
about,
all
right there.
man. Just kids in the parking lot,
Literally
and that
the P in preservation, right?
Yeah.
That's how it's done.
100%.
Amen.
Yeah, man. That's so special. Really, really awesome. And guys, you are having that same kind of impact. Through the work that you're doing. I'm serious. Like,
Wish we sang like that, but
champs
thank
are
you.
not- well, dude, you guys are incredible singers and incredible people. And, the work that you're doing and your in your quartet individually, but also as a group and with the youth, and the ways that you just represent our hobby and what we do. You guys are champs in so many of our minds and our hearts, and we're just really grateful that you guys do what you do, and we get to listen to you and get to see you keep climbing the ranks and competing year after year. How many years is it now for you guys?
Well, we formed in November of 2011.
Okay.
This is our 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. I screwed myself up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be our 9th consecutive open contest.
Man, that's awesome. In what, 13 years?
Yeah, we started, our first open contest was 2014.
Okay.
And then, of course, the COVID years, there were no competitions.
Wow. That's awesome, man. We're just so excited for you guys. And you too, Alex, man, First Take. We got some really good quartets cranking right now, man.
All MAD, baby.
Yes, the Mighty Mad.
Taking over.
But one last note on the MAD. I do want to mention you've been very complimentary to the impact that our quartet has had, and we really appreciate that. I just want to mention again how the district has been so instrumental in that. The people and the culture of the Mid-Atlantic district is wonderful, beyond measure, beyond words. We were brought up in that, and that's why we now do much of the same thing. Yeah. We give back because so much was given to us when we first came into the art form. And so we want the next generation of barbershoppers, and even the current generation of barbershoppers, to experience the same thing.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. It's cool to see it just pass down and down and down, and that's one of the great things. What can people go if they want to hear more of your music?
Gimme4quartet.com, and we just recently put all of our recordings on all the streaming services.
Ooh, Spotify, Apple Music, all that jazz?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Where can people buy one of these amazing T-shirts? Website?
Also on Gimme4quartet.com.
Beautiful. I thought I had to represent, and I'm really grateful to Joey for representing my quartet. It's nice to see.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
I forgot.
Oh, look at that, man. Represent. He's going all in.
This sweatshirt was bought for my wife. It's a little tight.
Suck it in.
I'm going to take your headphones off.
They're coming up with me.
I got you, fam.
Yes, sir. Look at
there
that.
You go. Oh,
there's your YouTube short right there.
Boom. That's it. The title's going to say Alex Corson strips for Midtown.
Clickbait.
It's kind of chilly.
Oh, man.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for taking the time to come up
Great.
here, and you guys are all such class acts. I'm proud to call you friends, and can't wait to keep cheering you on from the front row next year. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
By the way,
I would
I'm
imagine
very
so.
excited to get to watch you guys right there.
You're very excited to be in the front row.
I
Not
really
on
am.
stage.
Not gonna lie.
Not 20 feet.
I really
When
am.
we were at Midwinter, both Nick and Christian were together when I said, how does it feel to not be in the middle of a contest cycle right now? And both of their faces at the same time, they were like, it's so wonderful. It's so great.
It is so glorious. The stress, the anxiety, the weight is just gone. I'm so
I don't know
excited.
anything about that.
We don't know anything.
Listen, you all will. All of you will. I promise. But thanks again for coming,
Thanks
guys.
for having us, man.
Appreciate
AJ.
you all, and safe travels home. 7th Hour Podcast. We got Gimme Four and Alex from First Take. Go check them out. What's your website?
FirstTakeQuartet.com.
Boom.
Copycats.
First Take Quartet. Hey, ours is MidtownQuartet.com. Gimme4Quartet.com. First Take Quartet. I see a pattern. So, also, go check out one more time CustomQuartetStuff.com. And I hope you guys enjoy your custom mugs as a little gift to say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. 7th Hour Podcast.
Where do I look? Where is it?
Just pick a spot. I got like 20 cameras in here, so it doesn't matter.
There's secret cameras too.
That's a great sound.
100%.